And so it begins. Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. Welcome to the Gamey Daddy channel, where I will now gloat over those who... I'm just joking. I'm just playing, guys. I am really tired. Many of you know what I do as my day job, and it's quite tiring, so it's all fun and games as we have these arguments about the Division 2. And I understand that a lot of people in the community are very passionate about the game, but then there seems to be an unreasonable amount of criticism that sometimes falls flat on its face, because a lot of the criticisms, you can find them in other celebrated games being implemented. Like people saying the Division 2 is boring and repetitive when you have a game like Destiny 2, you have a game like Warframe, you have a game like Mortal Kombat 11, Call of Duty, that has made basically very similar games for over a decade. And yet the Division, which is the only third-person RPG looter shooter worth playing right now, is now somewhat classified as repetitive and boring. We must dismiss this, and I will continue to make videos like this, bucking that narrative at every turn. But that's not really my video today. That was just a small rant. My video today is to talk about the state of the game and how the developers basically came out and took community feedback, categorized it, and actually checked off the boxes. And I think they did a good job. I have to give credit where credit is due. And I know somebody is going to take offense saying, oh, you're shilling or whatever. Hey, that's your opinion, man. This is the Gamey Daddy channel. Feel free to type it up in the comment section. You know how it is. I'll respond if I see it. And if I get to it, we'll go back and forth and banter. That's why I enjoy you guys anyways that come to this channel, because you guys keep me on my toes. But we have to say that the targeted loot system that they're implementing inside of the summit is not only something that many people are looking at as a big improvement, it's actually something that Division players have been asking for since the very first game. Now, some of you may not know, but within the Division 1, there were a lot of these conversations talking about how it was a possibility for them to actually make this game like other RPGs, where you could actually pick the kind or the nature of rewards that you wanted to get. And so what they've done with this game is they've inched their way towards this system for the past few months by creating the targeted loot system, which is actually a decent improvement compared to what had been in the game. But now they've actually decided that they're going to go ahead and open up the floodgates for loot and gear. So now you as the player, you not only get to play at your own terms, you get to farm on your own terms, giving more, of this kind of a player, I would say, control into your own hand as the gamer. This is something that I don't think I've seen in many other games. All I have is just I've heard that this is being implemented, or this usually you find it in other video games. And so State of the Game today really did highlight something that is in the center and the core of the loot system and the reward system of the game. Now, another thing too that they did highlight was the way the summit actually is going to be working. It's going to be that central hub that they had actually designed for it to be, which is they bring out a skeletal system of a mode and have the community pour feedback in it. Now, many of you may say, but why would they want the community to pour feedback in it? But you'd have to go back to the history of the Division 1. We have basically, hand in hand with our feedback and our own opinions and our own input, built this game and shaped it to some of the aspects that we would like for it to see. The only difference was with the Division 2, it seemed like within the development team, there were some knuckleheads that did not want to follow that same pattern coming from the first game and decided to try as much as possible to hold off. But it seems like it's been a redundant enterprise, and now they're going to eventually give in to the original way that this game runs. It's what makes the Division very unique from all these other games out there. I mean, I'm not saying that other developers don't implement things that gamers ask for. I just feel like we've seen it much more in the Division and the Division, franchise than anywhere else that I can say, if you get what I mean. And the targeted loot system allows for you to customize and pick and choose what loot you want to drop for you at a higher proportion, which is actually so nice. And the first criticism about even the summit was some people said, oh, we would like to play the summit from, legendary from floor 1 to 100. Well, here you go. The developers have gone ahead to change it. And I think it follows the vision, because when Yannick, made this long tweet about the summit in the PTS, he mentioned that they made the summit to gain feedback from the community and eventually do things regarding what the community wanted. But I think that part of the conversation got lost because, there's an element of, I don't want to call any names, but it seems very quick to criticize and very slow to listen when a conversation is going on back and forth. You can go back to Yannick's tweets and you can see that he actually said we intended that this mode be something that players put feedback in, and we start to tweak and design the mode according to how players want it. And that was what it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be an open dialogue. They create the plate, we fill it in with our own order, and then they go into the lab, they go into the development side, and they get it done. And I feel like it'll be best for us to kind of just walk through where the developers are going in regard to all of this stuff. But then again, you also have to think about why and the timing. I'm not a baby to not know that this is not something that they're using to want to maybe grease the community or get on the community's good side. I know I waited till this long into the video to bury this, aspect, because I know someone's going to jump on me in the comment section. And like I said, I'm a little tired, so I'm a little unhinged and unfiltered, but I'll still give my opinions anyways. I know that they're doing this because they want something down the road, and that is a happy audience that will be very happy to pay for future content, possibly, and even far in the future, more possibly, a Division 3. Don't be in the situation where, you get carried away by just this one action or by what you're going to keep seeing coming in the next few weeks or the next few months. I personally believe they're going to start handing out candy in the game. All the different things we've asked about, like, weapons like the Eagle Bear coming out of the raid, all those things, they are not out of the question. They are not out of the question. I mean, I'm not saying they're going to do it, but I think there's a possibility that they'll do it. But it's just one of those things that they want to use to create a happy community, something that I've predicted in videos in the past that this development team will do. And the reason I know that is because in the Division 1 patch 1.7, 1.8, they opened up the floodgates, allowed for gear to be able to reach its max power, and gave everything to players. But that was only a sales pitch for the Division 2. And for them to have done the exact same thing when they started the game would have removed all of the elements of the Division, which is the grind and everything that comes with RPG games. So when we were making those equivalences of how powerful we were in the Division 1, it was more like a false equivalence, or what somebody in my comment section called one time, prequel bias, where everybody loves the prequel more than the current game. I see the very same thing in Mortal Kombat 11. Almost everybody swears that Mortal Kombat X was the best and the very best thing, but at the same time, it's like we're still going to play MK11 nonetheless. And so these are the different aspects of this whole conversation that we need to continue to have. And at the same time, we need to be able to calm down and say, okay, what exactly are these devs playing towards? Because it will be really nice for folk to be able to understand exactly where everything is going. And my goal is to try to open up Massive's playbook to you guys in the community. I would just wish that, we'll be able to have the conversation from a less emotional side and from a logical side, and even from a business perspective. All of these things you're seeing that are coming to the game, that will come to the game in the future, I strongly believe that it's designed to push new content, and some of you already know this, and potentially push a new game to a community that is left happy by the end of life of this game. So this is pretty much my opinion on all of this stuff. I'll probably reach these, these little topics bit by bit in other videos, but right now, like I said, I am absolutely needing some rest. And so if this video came out a little different from my regular presentation, this is the cranky old me. Thank you so much for listening. Peace out.